Alright, here we are again. We're going to actually take what we've done so far in the previous videos, created an instance of the HANA Express with a, I think we give it a SID or whatever they call it now, SBX sandbox. And we're going to create some stuff on that and actually work with data. So the first thing we probably want to do is make sure that the instance is running. SBX ADM was the user that we're going to, secret password. I hope I remember. Oh, I did. I'm going to do HDB list. Are you running? Not running. Okay. HDB, I guess start. Start the database. Here we go. Sometimes this takes a long time. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, it's already started. How about that? I'm going to start. Wait, okay. Okay, so that's great. I'm going to minimize this. What the hell? Turn that off and it just keeps coming back. Microsoft, just stop. We're going to use an ODBC client for our example here. As you can see, we only have the SQL Server. I guess it comes embedded with Microsoft's Windows. That's great. We need the HANA one. So we downloaded, I think a couple days ago, to our media directory, the Windows clients. Actually, I think it did the Linux clients, but you know, you can do it in Linux too, I guess. The stuff we're doing here can be on Windows or Linux for the client, doesn't matter. A zip within a zip. I want the 64-bit client. I'm going to extract that. We only need the ODBC stuff, but this thing's gonna, from the SAP downloads, it's going to install multiple clients, which we might use a little later. So I'm going to do HDB install. Yes. Zip yes. Goes through. These are all the clients. Oh, great. I'd rather just do them one by one. There's the ODBC somewhere up here. SQL DBC. And it should come through and say press the enter key. I'm going to press the enter key. Enter key is apparently not the enter key. So anyway, it's done. What that means for me is if I come back over into the ODBC manager, 64-bit, I should see in the drivers the HDBO ODBC stuff. That's good enough for us to go. So I'm going to close all these windows because we're right now done with that part of it. So we've got this guy running. Good. And I've got this Python script that uses my homespun small DB utilities. Probably another video on the site on these guys. If not, I've got them. I just haven't loaded them. I'm lazy. We're going to, it's just a wrapper around some ODBC, the PyODBC packages from Python. Should work in Linux, Mac, Windows. This is Windows, right? I'm going to use the functions, return the ODBC driver on the fly. I'm going to select rows, update, and then a little format helper. I'll just start with the debugger here. This is, I think, Python 3.10. Okay, good. I'm using the Wing 101, Wing IDE, which I like. Can't say enough good things about this thing. Anyway, we're just going to walk through this. By the way, the Wing IDE 101 is free for students and learning. It's pretty good. The server name, as you recall, is host, localhost. That's my port that I told it. I told 90, but you know, if you change it, just change whatever the second two digits are in the thing. Database sandbox, schema, tester, not sure how to use that. I'm going to build the ODBC string. Username, password. Don't have any trusted stuff set up yet, but that's okay. We don't need it for this. It's going to return that I'm actually using it. It found it. Hooray. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to make a call to the database and do a select from users just to see what's going on. So the select data return row list takes an ODBC string, SQL statement, and any variables that you want to put into the SQL statement, which this one has none. So it's going to get the result. The result's going to return a dictionary that has things like message from the system, which is going to be none of it's nothing there. Return code, false, true, payloads, times, whatever you have. You'll see this in a second. The results return code should be good, so that means we got data, and I'm just going to do a simple list compression and print out the stuff. Okay, so we got data. So this kind of is really good because I've got a running HANA database here on my OpenSUSE, and I've got actual information from that thing. So as you recall, though, we started off with system, not a great user to use, although it's kind of okay. From my perspective, is developing stuff. I don't want to be hampered by authorizations, but in this case, we're going to create a user called test me and give the old welcome one, kind of standard training password from SAP. Step over that. Use the update SQL statement. It takes kind of the same format, ODBC driver, SQL statement, which is right there, and then it doesn't have any variables to put through, so we're going to go like that. I'm going to print off the return true. That's great. That means that's done. I've created a user. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I did up here and select the users from usernames from the users. Do the same thing, and from here on, I'm just going to assume all the results are okay. I'm going to do the print, and I can see right down there is test me. Woohoo! This worked. Okay, so let's go to town here. I've created a list here of some DDL statements and DML, I guess. The grant access to my user test me, create a schema called data load, grant all privileges to data load on to test me with the ability to test me to do more granting. And then finally I'm going to create a table called my names with a number and a name field and load data to it. So let's do this. So each one I'm just going to loop through this one at a time, and what I'm looking for here is a false over here. Really good error checking, but so just going through each one of those, and they should all come out as true. So at this point I've got everything set for my ability to load data. Of course I'm still using the system user at this point, but we'll see that in a second. Here's my variable set, parameterized stuff that I'm going to put into this table. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names with a key 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hold that for a little bit. I'm going to truncate this table first because this is an example, and then make sure that works. Hey, yay, truncation worked. I'm only printing the message here, which is 0 rows updated, so that's great. And then I'm going to build a, sorry, I'm talking a little fast probably, an insert statement with my two parameters. This one is going to obviously correspond to number and name, and the prototype for the update SQL will be put the loaded data, so it's a list of tuples or a list of lists that takes on it, and it'll do them all at one time in one nice, wonderful call. So I'm going to print that off, and it's already done, and it's printed, 0 rows updated. That's good. The rows updated. This is just going to indicate that it's successful. Again, see the video on the small DB utilities for how that works. If it exists, it might not yet. It does on my computer. And now we're going to go look at that table we just created and see what's going on. I'm going to go get the select star from the data rows names. Boom, I got it. I'm assuming that everything worked. I don't know. Of course, we can come to stack data and peek. This is globals and main. What do I call this? My results. Okay, I got my header. Pull out the header. It's got a message and then payload. Oh, it's got data in it. So I'm going to go through and format that data. Let's go back to the debug IO. And where did that go? Oh, I haven't printed it yet. And I'm going to print. So the format a row with a fixed string stuff. It's just a helper function from the small DB that's going to take the tuples or the rows that come from the ODBC driver and put them in a more readable format that looks like that. So header and then columns. So everything that we just put in there is now literally on our database. That's pretty good. Okay, so what do we do now? So we're going to go off, and what I did quickly here is we're going to try it with this new user. So I'm putting in the user, and that's right there. Test me with that password, hard-coded. I'm going to go just see if I can get this. Boom. Looks like I got a return result, fix it, and get the same thing. And I'm done. So that's pretty much the video here. It demonstrates that you can create a valid set of objects in your HANA local database. It's running right here. Oops, sorry, right here. I think you can use it forever. You can. It's only a 30 gigabyte database allowed on this Trial Express version. I think you can get a license and make it bigger. You can use this wherever you want. It's running on the WSL platform. It could be on a regular, Linux install or a VM of a. You can look at the other videos to see how that's working, but it's fantastic to work with in this capacity. Anyway, that's the video. I'm going to have another one right after this one to show you how to get into this database in a more friendlier manner than this. It's not that this isn't friendly, it's just an ODBC driver. I mean, you can do a whole bunch of different clients that are listed out there, and maybe we'll look into them. But we're going to build more videos in the future based on this install to play around with some ideas around HANA and maybe do some stuff with HANA in the cloud. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you in a minute, or later, whenever.